Every week, I speak with boutique consulting business owners who tell me some version of the same story. Their clients value their work. Their reputation is strong. Revenue may even look healthy. But behind the scenes, there is one question they cannot answer with complete confidence. Where is the next client coming from? Not where might the next client come from. Not where do you hope the next client comes from. Where are they actually coming from? For many consulting business owners, the honest answer is, I do not know. And after spending more than 20 years helping consulting businesses grow, I have realized something important. Most boutique consulting businesses do not have a sales problem. They have built a business that depends on the owner to create almost every opportunity. When the owner is visible, networking, following up, creating content, and having conversations, opportunities appear. When the owner becomes busy serving clients, business development slows down. Then a project ends. Revenue drops, the pressure returns, and suddenly the owner has to switch from delivering great work to urgently trying to find more of it. That is the feast or famine cycle. It does not happen because the owner lacks expertise. It happens because the business does not yet have a growth system. I know that cycle because I have lived it. Over the past 20 years, I have personally sold more than $500 million in consulting services. I helped lead the growth of 3 niche consulting businesses to the point of acquisition, most recently by KPMG. And through niche consulting growth, I have worked with consulting business owners whose companies have collectively generated more than $1 billion in revenue. After hundreds of conversations, I have reached one conclusion. The consulting businesses that escape feast or famine tend to build 3 important capabilities: an opportunity engine, diagnostic conversations, and a wedge. Let me explain what I mean. The first capability is an opportunity engine. Most consulting business owners rely heavily on timing. They meet someone at an event. They receive a referral. They reconnect with a former client. They send a message to someone on LinkedIn. Sometimes the person they contact happens to need help at that exact moment. That can produce business, but timing is difficult to predict, and it is impossible to control. An opportunity engine works differently. It helps the right prospective clients discover you before they are ready to buy. They begin seeing how you think. They read something you wrote. They watch a video. They attend a presentation. They hear about you from someone they trust. Over time, they begin to understand your expertise. So when the problem becomes urgent, they already know who they want to speak with, you. That changes the entire sales conversation. You no longer have to manufacture trust from the beginning. You simply have to confirm the trust that has already started to form. But an opportunity engine is not simply posting more content on LinkedIn. Content without a strategy is just activity. An opportunity engine intentionally moves the right people from awareness to understanding, from understanding to trust, and from trust to a conversation. One of my clients, Jennifer Mercer, once described herself as running around like a chicken with her head cut off. She was leading the business, serving clients, managing her team, and carrying business development herself. Together, we created a more intentional opportunity engine. Within 18 months, her revenue doubled from $1 million to $2 million. But creating opportunities is only the first step. Once someone agrees to speak with you, you need to know how to use that conversation well. That brings us to the second capability, diagnostic conversations. Many consultants enter a prospective client meeting believing they need to prove themselves. They bring a presentation, they talk about their experience, they explain their capabilities, they begin recommending solutions before they fully understand the problem. I believe that approach is backwards. Think about what happens when you visit a great doctor. The doctor does not immediately begin prescribing treatment. They ask questions. Where does it hurt? When did it begin? What have you already tried? How is the problem affecting you? Only after understanding the situation do they recommend a path forward. Great consultants work the same way. Your job is not to convince someone to hire you. Your job is to determine whether there is a meaningful problem worth solving. When you make that shift, the pressure changes. You stop trying to close the person. You begin trying to understand them. And that is often when trust deepens. One of my clients, Mark Duffett, is an engineer by training. When we first met, he thought he needed to become better at selling. What he actually needed was a stronger diagnostic approach. When he changed the way he led prospective client conversations, trust formed fast. Within 18 months, his business grew from $800,000 to $1.6 million. Now you have an opportunity engine creating conversations. You have diagnostic conversations helping you understand the real problem. But one major challenge remains: why should the client choose you? There are often many capable consulting businesses competing for the same work. That is where the third capability becomes important. I call it the wedge. A wedge is a focused way for a client to begin working with you. Instead of asking the client to commit to the largest possible engagement immediately, you help them make a smaller, easier decision. The wedge solves an important problem. It produces meaningful value, and it gives the client a direct experience of your expertise. Without a wedge, consulting businesses often get pulled into competitive proposal processes. Every firm looks qualified, every proposal sounds similar. And eventually, the conversation becomes about price. With the right wedge, you stop competing on everyone else's terms. Two of my clients, Dave Gregory and Dan Colton, were competing against much larger firms for enterprise consulting work. They thought the answer was to hire a salesperson. It was not. What they needed was a better way for prospective clients to begin working with them. Once they developed that wedge, the business doubled within 12 months. When these three capabilities work together, the business begins to operate differently. The opportunity engine creates conversations, the diagnostic creates clarity and trust. The wedge creates momentum. Together, they help you move away from chasing individual opportunities and toward building a business that consistently earns them. For years, I helped consulting business owners build these capabilities through coaching and advisory work. Every business was different, but the questions I heard were remarkably similar. Where should I focus? What is preventing growth? What should I do next? How do I turn my expertise into a system that consistently creates opportunities? Eventually, I began asking myself another question. Why should this guidance only be available inside a coaching relationship? What would it look like if every boutique consulting business owner had access to a chief growth officer? Someone who understood their business, remembered their decisions, helped them build these three capabilities, and guided them toward the most important growth priority each day. That question led me to create Boutique OS. Boutique OS is a growth operating system built specifically for boutique consulting businesses. It is not another generic AI tool. It is not simply a CRM, and it is not a course library. Boutique OS begins by learning about your business, your goals, your expertise, your market, your clients, and your current approach to generating opportunities. It then helps identify what is missing and what deserves attention first. It can guide you through developing your positioning and your wedge. It can help you design your opportunity engine. It can help you turn your expertise into proprietary diagnostics and authority assets. It can help you organize and advance the relationships that may become future opportunities. And sitting above all of it is your chief growth officer, not simply reporting information, making sense of it, helping you decide what matters today. Because the real problem is rarely that consulting business owners do not know enough. The problem is that they are trying to do everything at the same time. Boutique OS helps bring order to that complexity. It does not replace your expertise. It helps you turn your expertise into a more predictable growth system. I built Boutique OS because I do not believe owners should have to choose between serving and growing. You should be able to deliver excellent client work while knowing that the next opportunity is already beginning to take shape. Your growth system should become an asset, and you should not have to carry every growth decision alone. So, if this resonates with you, there are three ways you can continue. First, you can experience Boutique OS for yourself. Click the link below to begin your 7-day trial. Introduce Boutique OS to your business. Begin building your growth system. See what it identifies, and experience what it feels like to have a chief growth officer helping you decide. After the trial, Boutique OS is $197 per month. Second, if you are facing a more complex growth challenge and would like to talk it through with me, you can use the link below to book a conversation. We can look at where your business is today. And third, if you are not ready for either of those steps, subscribe to the channel. Each week, I share practical ideas to help boutique consulting business owners create opportunities and build trust. Choose the next step that makes the most sense for you. Thanks for watching, and welcome to a better way of growing a boutique consulting business.